In the cold void of space, the star Deneb burns bright in the Cygnus constellation. But from our tiny corner of the universe, it's more than just a distant point of light. Imagine this. You spin a globe, a replica of our Earth, and you start firing bullets into it. The holes would fall along a curve, a smooth pattern etched onto the surface. Now imagine that this pattern wasn't made by bullets, but by something far more mysterious, far more unknown. 6 visitation zones, places on Earth affected by forces not of this world, lie along a line connecting Earth and Deneb, as if someone or something shot at our planet from a cosmic pistol stationed there. My name is Redrick Schuhart. You can call me Red. I'm what's known as a stalker. Stalkers venture into visitation zones, areas scarred by the visitation, deadly dangerous places full of anomalies and artifacts, littered like cosmic picnic leftovers. We stalkers sneak in, often at night, to scrounge up whatever we can. These artifacts are valuable. They're strange and powerful, and people pay good money for them. It's not a job for the faint-hearted, but then again, neither is life. I tried to get out of the game at a point, tried to go straight. I took a job as a lab assistant at the International Institute, a place dedicated to studying the zone. I even considered my boss a friend. One day, to help him advance his career, I went back into the zone with him. He wanted to recover a unique artifact, a so-called empty. Empties are not really empty, as the name might suggest. It's a container of sorts, but what it contains nobody knows because it's transparent, weightless, untouchable. And it's worth a fortune. The expedition didn't end well. My friend, my boss, didn't make it. I learned of his death later when I was drunk in a bar, and the guilt weighed me down. I blamed myself for his fate. That day, cops showed up looking for stalkers. I had to use a shrieker to escape, an artifact that emits a powerful sound wave, disorienting those nearby. It's not a weapon you use lightly, but sometimes it comes in handy. My girlfriend Guta was pregnant. We knew the risks. Stories of stalkers' children being born with mutations ran rampant, even though the zone didn't show any signs of radiation. But Guta was brave. She decided to keep the baby no matter what. And so, we decided to marry. But as we prepared to welcome a new life into this strange world, I couldn't shake off the specter of the zone, of the unknown dangers it posed to us and our unborn child. There's a saying that goes, "You can leave the zone, but the zone never leaves you." And it was true. After some time, I found myself drawn back to it, back to being a stalker. On one of my expeditions, I partnered with another stalker, Burbridge, who we called the Vulture. Together, we braved the unknown terrors of the zone, looking for artifacts that could fetch a high price. But the zone is a treacherous place. It holds wonders, but also horrors. One of these horrors is the hell slime, a substance so vile and destructive it dissolves anything that comes into contact with it. And Burbridge stepped right on it. We managed to get out of the zone, and I dropped him off at a surgeon, barely avoiding the patrols, but he ended up losing his legs. You'd think his daughter would be grateful that I saved her father's life, but instead she was angry at me. Angry that I'd saved a man so consumed by the zone, so eager to put his life on the line for a chance at the treasures it held. Guta gave birth to our daughter. She was happy, smart, and normal in every way, except for her long, full-body hair and black eyes. We called her the monkey, in a joking, loving way. Despite the harsh world we lived in, she brought us much joy. Around that time, I met with some clients in a posh hotel, selling them my latest haul from the zone. But what they really wanted was the hell slime, the same substance that almost cost Burbridge's life. It was hinted they wanted it for military research. I denied having it and left. But soon after, I was arrested. I managed to escape and contact my clients, telling them where I had hidden a sample of the slime I had smuggled out earlier. I made one condition for the sale. All the proceeds had to go to Guta. I realized they were going to use the slime to create a weapon of mass destruction. The thought of it twisted my stomach, but I also knew I had to do everything I could to provide for my family. So with the deal done, I turned myself into the police. The world outside the zone was full of its own dangers, its own injustices, but I had to face them head on for the sake of my family. Having served my time, I was now back at home. Here's a funny thing about life. Just when you think you've got a handle on it, it throws you a curveball. I thought I'd left the zone behind, but it came knocking on my door. My old friend Richard Noonan, a supply contractor with connections to the Institute, was revealed to be a covert operative for a secret organization. His job was to stop the flow of artifacts from the zone. He thought he was close to finishing his assignment, but his boss had other news. The flow of artifacts was stronger than ever. The stalkers were now operating under the cover of a weekend picnics for tourists business, set up by none other than Burbridge. They even had a cheeky nickname for it: Sunday School. Burbridge and I talked often, always trying to involve me in some secret project, but I'd had enough of secrets and danger. I wanted to be done with the zone for good. I had a lot to worry about even without it. Guta was depressed. Our little monkey was losing her humanity. She was becoming more and more like an actual monkey. It was heart-wrenching to see our joyous, intelligent daughter succumb to whatever influence the zone had on her. But the zone just kept throwing surprises at us. My dead father, who was supposed to be resting in peace in a cemetery inside the zone, came home one day. Dead people were returning home, moving slowly, harmless. A stark reminder that after the visitation, nothing would ever be the same again. The authorities usually destroyed the dead as soon as they were discovered, but I couldn't let them take my father, so I hid him inside the house. Can't say Guta liked it very much. That's when I understood what Dr. Valentine Pillman had said during a conversation with Noonan. The visitation, he said, was like a roadside picnic. To the beings who caused the visitation, our world was just a roadside stop, a place to have a picnic. They left, leaving behind their trash, the artifacts, the zones, unaware of the profound impact they had on us. It was a chilling realization, one that made me question the very nature of our existence. After all that, I was to do one last zone run. This time my aim was the Golden Sphere. It was said that whomever held the Golden Sphere could wish for anything. I had a map to guide me, given to me by Burbridge and his son Arthur for assistance. But there was a catch. The Golden Sphere was behind an invisible lethal phenomenon known as a meat grinder. Anyone who got too close to it, well, it was called a meat grinder for a reason. One of us had to die to temporarily deactivate it. I kept that small detail from Arthur. Truth is, I intended to sacrifice him so I could make a wish for my daughter to be normal again. We fought our way through the zone, surviving challenges that would break any normal man. When we finally reached the sphere, Arthur rushed towards it, shouting wishes for a better world. It happened so fast I tell myself he couldn't have felt anything. And then, it was just me and the sphere. My whole life flashed before me and I was at a loss. What should I wish for? What did I actually really want? I let the sphere peer into my soul. I let it figure out my wish. I said, whatever it is I wish for, it can't be bad. I hoped that there was still something good left in me. My final wish echoed in the silence of the zone. In a desperate plea, I shouted, "Happiness for everybody, free, and may no one be left behind." As we bring my journey to an end, I'd like to share a bit about the origins of this story. Roadside Picnic is a philosophical science fiction novel written by authors Arkady and Boris Strugatsky in 1971 and published in 1972. The Strugatsky brothers' work is highly regarded in the realm of science fiction literature. The novel was nominated for a John W. Campbell Award for Best Science Fiction Novel of 1978 and won second place. Further recognition came in 1979, when the Scandinavian Congress on Science Fiction Literature awarded the Swedish translation the Jules Verne Prize for Best Novel of the Year published in Swedish. And in 1981 at the 6th Festival du Science Fiction in Metz, France, the novel won the award for Best Foreign Book of the Year. Roadside Picnic has also made a significant impact on popular culture. The novel inspired the 1979 film Stalker, directed by Andrei Tarkovsky, and it has been the source of many adaptations across various media, including stage plays, television series, and the popular Stalker video game series. Thank you for joining me on this adventure through the zone. If you enjoyed my journey and want to explore more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. Until next time, keep exploring those uncharted territories.